What's going on, guys? This is Behind the Line, and we are with Sierra Madre today. So, welcome. How you guys doing?
Thank you. Good. We're doing good.
Good.
Awesome. So, this is actually our first podcast. So, they're going to be our first ones in our line of podcasts. So, yeah, we're going to start this, and we want to start this with basically just a 3 minute of introducing yourself. Who are you? What is your business? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Claudia Monroy. I'm the founder and co-owner of Sierra Madre Tortilla Company.
My name is Munir Monroy. I'm her partner and also her husband.
Nice. Good point.
So Sierra Madre Tortilla Company, we are a small batch, traditional Mexican tortilleria. We're committed to making organic corn tortillas for our community and as many people as we can reach. And then we also make chips, which is our newest line that has taken off, and a lot of people know us because of that. But the idea started when my son was about 2 or 3 years old. I wanted to introduce him more to our Mexican culture. So I started hand making tortillas for him. And I was like, well, this isn't organic. Corn is usually not organic. It's high GMO. It's high in glyphosate. And so I went down like this rabbit hole of trying to find organic masa. This was pre-COVID, so there wasn't a lot of like home cooking going on and stuff like that. I found myself going to Publix, Whole Foods. I couldn't find it. I couldn't find organic tortillas. And for me, it was like the easy way out. I wanted organic corn tortillas. You could find organic whole wheat tortillas, but not organic corn. So I just started looking into, okay, if I can't find the masa, I have to make my own masa. I don't know, how did it start? I just kind of I bought a little bag of corn from like Seattle or something like that. And then I asked my mom for help. Um, and it didn't work out because we were working on a glass stove. The corn wasn't cooking correctly. But eventually my grandma came over. She's like, no, honey, mija, you have to do this outside in like fire. You need real fire. So she like I have a video of like my parents' backyard, which was like it's just dirt everywhere. And I haven't posted it. I should post it. But that's like how I started to learn how to do nixtamal, which is what the indigenous or the Mesoamerican people call like the process of cooking this corn. It's called nixtamal. So it's the process of cooking the corn with the lime. So my grandma taught me, and we had a little hand like mill, and we started making them by hand like that. And so that's how we started making organic corn tortillas for our son. And we're like, we have to give this to the community. There's like so many people that are just eating like bad corn tortillas, and there's a whole generation probably of kids that don't know what real corn tortillas are. So
That is very
um,
true.
uh, I have to admit I didn't know what real corn tortillas were. I thought maseca was like the real deal. Like that's what I don't know if I'm allowed to say maseca, but I thought the corn flour was the real deal. So in conversation, I was like, I wish I could go to the store and buy organic corn tortillas. And it was just this thing where I tell my husband, I complain like I can't find organic corn tortillas. It was like I'd go to him all the time. I'm like, I'm going down the aisles, I can't find it. I'm like, I think there's a need for this product. So I went to him, and I told him about it, and I don't know, I think he thought I was crazy.
actually, uh, actually, we start with just a pat and one of those camp fire stoves that you use when you go camping, and yes, in the propane tank and all that stuff. And my wife did that for what, like at least a year, I believe.
And this is you guys doing it for your own family, right?
Yeah, families and friends,
That's
and
awesome.
uh, you have right now here three kinds of corn, but believe it or not, every single corn react different every time you cook it. And because it's organic, every time you have a new batch, you have to um, make sure that the first time you cook that batch, every time you get a new batch, you have to make sure that the time, that every ingredient is correct in order for you to have the perfect tortilla. But when my wife started this business, She was so committed, and she told me that she wants to do a tortilla business. And to be
How
quite
crazy!
honest,
How crazy did that sounded?
I thought it was crazy. I thought it was crazy. I was like, Jesus, Mary, like a tortilla business. So I said, you know what? I've been asking my wife to come up with an idea of a business. So I'm going to take her seriously. And the next morning I went to work. Um, it didn't work very much that day. I was on the computer researching like what's the market of a tortilla business in the United States, and I was like, Jesus, this is this is something really big. Um, so I came back and I got very excited, and I give my wife a full support, 100%, and we started the journey. And
Nice. So tell me a little bit about yourself. What are your backgrounds?
So we actually met through work. So we've been married, what, 10 years?
Correct.
We've been together like 11 or 12 years. We used to work for a really big medical company, and we used to do medical marketing. So our background, I guess, is medical marketing.
So this had like the
It
whole
had-
cooking and the whole tortilla had nothing to do with your background.
We had no idea what we were doing. Like when I started it, I had no idea. And I didn't even cook. Like when we met, I wasn't even like a big, like, I liked cooking, but it wasn't like something I was like passionate about.
Gotcha,
That's why
gotcha.
some people like they'll call a chef. Like, you know, we don't feel like a chef because you guys are, you're a chef, and like everything that you do is beautiful. And I'm over here just like cranking out tortillas out of a tortilla machine. So it's really cool that people get to call us that.
And then what, you're from Mexico and I know you're from Colombia, right? So what part of Mexico are you from?
I was born in a place called Guerrero.
Okay.
It's probably famous if you look it up on the internet because it's very dangerous. I think it's the most. I've never been there before. I wish I could go someday. But that's actually where we got the name from, Sierra Madre.
Okay.
A lot of people will come. They're like, "Are you from Sierra Madre, California, or whatnot?" Or, but I think that when we looked for a name, it was for me. It's a love letter to a country that or a place that I haven't been able to visit. I wish I could visit it one day, but due to the violence that's going on there, unfortunately, it's not something. I want to visit where I was born and in the hospital and where my grandparents used to live. So, we've been to Mexico City and other places. We just haven't been able to go there. So that's my little homage to the little state that I'm from. And also, it works. It rolls well off the tongue in Spanish and English. So that's a little bit behind why we chose that name.
Nice. And I know you being from Colombia.
yeah, actually, I born in Venezuela and raised in Colombia.
Oh, wow.
I finished high school in Colombia. Uh, my dad was from Lebanon. My mom is Colombian, and I've been living in the United States probably for like 27 years. And yes, we met at the in the medical field, and we used to do business development, like she said. And I thought when my wife is told me about this business, and I tried the first tortilla, I was impressed. I was impressed because I didn't have anything like it in South Florida. So right then and there, I said, "Well, we have something good." Um, I remember we tried to trick Riyadh. A week later, yeah, it's our son. So we buy flour, blue flour. We give them gorditas.
Yeah, we made gorditas.
In what happened, like it's like he told me when we did it. He told me when we did the gorditas the first time, he loved it. He said it was delicious, with the real corn. And then a week later, we tried to trick him, and he told me, I don't want to eat this because this is not what you gave me last week. He was what, 4 years old at that time?
I think so.
So he
Yeah.
knew it was the real thing.
Yeah. So I was like, wow, if this kid can tell the difference, I just can't imagine what people can tell when they have the opportunity to try. So
Well, that's
Yeah.
awesome. So once you guys got this business plan up and running and you guys had the idea, what happened next? How did you guys even get to this place where we are right now? Because I know from point A to point B, it takes a lot.
absolutely. I wanna start with this, but I'm gonna give the introduction of that. Yes, we did start in my in-law house in the backyard
Nice.
with one pot, one of those stuff for to go camping, and but my wife actually created a business plan, and I was like, oh my god, she's very serious about it. And you go ahead, continue.
But actually, I think just starting was the hardest part for me, because I was like, I'm doing something um, that I like doing, but I didn't really plan on it being I mean, I didn't see like how I was going to get from point A to point B to make it into a business. Um, like one of the first biggest issues for me was like finding a molino, and like I couldn't find like a molino here in the United States. And so and I tried to contact a couple family members in Mexico about getting one, but that like also seemed too difficult because shipping from Mexico to the US is really expensive. I mean, shipping in general is expensive, but getting something from Mexico is really expensive, and it was just not like money that we had. Honestly, I don't think we had any money.
No, we actually started with a credit card.
Yeah, we so we bought our first molino. It was a company that was like selling them, and we put it on a credit card. It was US based, and then it came like a week later. And I remember my grandparents actually had a tortilleria in Mexico. So my grandfather passed away. I never got to meet him. But my grandmother was in town at the time. So I was just so afraid of this molino coming in. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Like, I have no idea. So my grandma was there, and she was the one who actually like helped us like turn it on and crank it on. And she was like, you have to put sand through it. So she kind of helped us like, put it all together. And that's like where it started. As soon as I learned how to do it, I just started selling at a local butcher shop. And it was funny because I'm like always by the law. Like, I don't break any rule. So I was
good.
like looked up the
Legal
cottage.
purposes, it's always good.
So I looked up the cottage food laws, and I was like, I don't know. This seems like a gray area, but I'm pretty sure corn is a vegetable and it shouldn't be cooking it. And but so I had a friend who was opening up a butcher shop, and I'm like really good with paperwork. And she was like, hey, can you help me like incorporate my business? I'm going to open this up. And then she asked me, she's like, what do I owe you? By the way, I have to give her a shout out because without her, we wouldn't be here. It's called Carniceria El Chava. They're in Lake Worth. They're husband and wife duo, and they're really nice. So
check them out. We're
out.
Probably going to stop by next.
So she's like, what do I owe you? Like, used to work for a bigger Hispanic retail chain, and it was all. So I went through the whole process of them like leaving their job. So it's pretty cool to see them doing so well now. But she's like, what do I owe you? And I was like, I'm not going to charge you anything, but
I like that. I like that. I like that. You knew what you were going through.
But will you let me sell our masa? Because we could make handmade tortillas, but like, so we started selling our corn dough there. And so she's like, I'm going to figure it out. Because also like, you're doing this from your home. I don't know, but they took the risk and they let us sell our masa there. And then word got around. Like, I think I started advertising on all the Facebook groups, and so many people were happy. Like, we have people who are saying it's been years since I've been able to like eat a real corn tortilla. So
What's going on, guys? This video is being interrupted by today's sponsors, myself, because I don't have any sponsors. So if you want to go ahead and sponsor me, shoot me a DM and we can work together. Now back to the video. Okay, awesome. So we're here. We're with Sierra Madre. We just did a little background check of their tortilleria. So I'm gonna go ahead and post that up as well. You guys are gonna be able to see how the whole process of the tortilla goes from grinding the corn. After that, mixing the corn right in the mixer, and then from there dropping it into their tortilleria cooker, or how would we call that?
What is the tortilla oven?
The tortilla oven.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So I know last time we were here, we were talking about your new looks of the bags. So tell me a little bit about these, because these are awesome.
They're here now. So this project actually, it took a few months. From finding a company that could print the bags for us. Then we had to get a designer to make them for us. And so, I mean, this is like our first one. Obviously, we think they're beautiful, and there's definitely always room for improvement. But so what changed is just it looks more like an actual brand. It's not like a handmade, like a.
It looks more corporate.
It looks
No,
more corporate.
let's show the before and after so we can see where you guys started and where you guys are at now. You guys have another one of that one, or
We don't. I think we got rid of them. I was like, I have.
you guys should have kept at least like one.
Should have kept one.
You guys should have put it like right there.
He's gonna bring one. Yes, we're gonna do that.
Or we can. It was the same one, right? We can use the same one.
Well, it looks like this. We still have our tostadas, which is like
Okay.
the flat. They have a stamp.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
He's bringing it.
Oh, there he is.
Nice.
So it used to be like this.
Yeah.
So we went from beautiful handmade to even more beautiful handmade, but now you guys have your own bag. This is awesome.
Yes.
How excited are you guys about this?
Super excited. We feel like it's just going to open up the door to more opportunities, to more retailers wanting to work with us, because some of them, there's a lot of people that like locally made products, and we appreciate that, and they've helped us grow. But I think to get to the next level, we did have to do this. And so this will definitely help, put our brand out there online, and then just to larger retailers who like our product. Yeah.
And
I also want to say that my wife complete range me. We are now range me.
Oh yeah, Range Me, which is like an online it just like displays your product to other retailers who may be interested in carrying your product on stores.
so where's that? Like online?
Um,
That's something that
It's like an
all the
online
supermarkets
catalog.
use. Yes, all the supermarkets use, like all the national independents supermarkets, Whole Foods, Fresh Market, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They use that platform, and my wife put us in the map. So
Hey, that's
we'll see
awesome.
if we get discovered. So
That's
maybe-
awesome.
Because
Maybe
even
next time you come.
with this bag, we would have a lot of people ask, like, "Oh, so are you making this from your home?" And so even a lot of the local retailers were like, do you make this from your home?"
Yeah.
We're like, no, we're not.
As a business, sales as a business development for the company, one of the things that I heard was a lot of no's, and it was due to the bag. So I also want to thank you for all the local independent supermarkets that help us, bring the brand to the community. And there's not that many. We are like in 27 stores,
Yeah,
correct? 27.
27.
27 levels.
27 local stores.
That's amazing.
I want 100 by the next quarter.
Hey, listen, we can get to 100. 100. This is the goal. 100. That's amazing. And you know what's one thing I love is that last time I was here, I took a photo of this. Oh no, actually, when you guys did the post of that the TikTok, when you guys did the TikTok, which was amazing.
That's another
That's a new accomplishment.
When you guys did the TikTok, I was in the car with my wife, and I was like, "Look at the new bag." And one thing she pointed out, and she was like, "Wow, that's beautiful." But she loved this part, made with love in Florida. And I don't know if you can zoom in there, cameraman. You can zoom in there. Well, actually, I'm gonna just get close. Let's see how close can we get. Made with love in Florida. So that's awesome. I think that's something. One of not a lot of brands have that on their logo to understand that, like, hey, it was made locally.
So not only that, one of the things that I also want to point out, we do everything in house, as we show you in the back. A lot of companies they do co-packing. They use another company. They just got a recipe and somebody
They
else is
outsource,
doing it.
yeah.
But we actually we do the control on making sure that the flavor always stay there. It's a totally artisanal product that we can mass produce in a larger scale, hopefully in the near future. But we're proud to be making everything in house.
For us, the most important thing is just like keeping it handmade and minimally processed. I think that's the most important thing to us, because we see when the children, they come and they buy our chips and they say they're their favorite chips, and they ask the parents, the parents will come and pick something else up. But they're like, "Mom, are we going to get a bag of chips?" That for me is like so special, because this is the reason why we started this, because of our son, wanting to connect him to our Mexican culture. and then just not finding like a clean enough product. So it started off with the tortillas, but the chips just like, they blew the tortillas out of the water, and just people loved them.
Yeah, no, my wife does it. I think it was like as soon as we landed from our trip, she was like, hit right now, some tortillas from Sierra Madre. But it was like 10 o'clock, so we couldn't be like, okay,
Yeah.
let's go get some. But no, it was. I mean, we ate that bag within like 30 minutes when we got home that last time.
Oh,
So and I know Joshua did too. So he sent me a whole video of it as well. So but this is awesome. I think you guys are doing an amazing job. I want to touch up a little more on the location. I know last time that was like the last minute when the mic died,
okay.
and I think it was such a amazing information because when I was talking to Johnny, which is shout out to Johnny, Brett, he didn't know that, and that was one of the things that when we were doing that podcast, I was letting him know. I was like, "Did you know that they bought their wedding cake there?" And he was like, "What?" So it was just blown. He was like, "That's amazing. That adds a little more value to it." So tell me how. I know you guys. We spoke about finding the place, how hard it was to find the place, but how did you guys come about this location? And tell me a little bit more about that specific wedding cake story.
So I think like as we were starting like this journey of like, we're gonna open up like a tortilla shop. We drive around, we'd look for places, we'd call a few places. I'd always drive after the bakery shut down. I'd always drive by here, and I always saw it empty. I'm like, in my mind, I was like, I think that would be a great place. I don't know why. There was nothing about it that I knew about it, but there was just like some connection there, and just like something that I felt. I'm like, that would be a really great place. For whatever reason, it's what was on my mind. But I mean, nothing happened. I think our real estate agent contacted us. We had kind of given up, and the cost was like extremely expensive. So
No, I want to rephrase that. We never give up. We never
not
give
give.
up.
We put it on pause.
Yeah, we
just
put it on
we're-
pause because what happened was before we got this place, we have, again, at the beginning you have to hear a lot of no's. We hear a lot of no's. It was the last no that we got. They say we thought we have everything, by the book. They're gonna, accept us as a tenant, and
it was like a grueling process. It was like buying a house.
we were waiting for like a month and a half, and then we finally get like a deny letter telling us the person who got the other location, they have like a
It's like six-figure
bank account and
something like
all that
that.
stuff. And I was like, man, the system is not designed
To help small
to
businesses.
help the small business. And listen, and I want to put this up there. If somebody's, is going to find us inspirational, we didn't even have the money. We didn't have the first, last, second, or deposit, or all the stuff that they asked. But thanks to God and the persistence that my wife and I had, we were able to find this location. And I think Juan, which is a commercial realtor,
He was very patient.
He was very patient, and we, he believed in me. He was one of the first believers because I told him, like, look, this is what we're looking to do. I have these machineries. In the meanwhile, the machineries that were being built for us, custom built for us in Mexico. So,
mind you, we didn't even know where we were gonna. We went to Mexico and we had them start building these machines. We didn't even know like
what was gonna come.
Put them. We were
yes.
Yeah.
I was like praying to God.
You had a dream. You had a dream.
When we got this location, I was praying to God that the actually machine was gonna fit it through the door because, as you know, we don't have double doors in the back, like our garage doors, whatever you call those. But so we found this location and and we realized that this is where we got our wedding cake.
Yeah.
And
I think once we got, they gave us a printout. We're like, oh my gosh, this is the place where we got our.
So you guys didn't know until you guys got the approval and everything. You guys came through and you guys were like,
well, they sent us a printout. They were like, there's this location. He gave us like, all the fees, and I was like, he's like, it's a little bit out of your budget, but I was like, I think my budget was unrealistic.
It's hard. It's hard.
My wife wants everything cheap.
No, especially like starting something new. Because listen, looking for our location, I think for me as a business owner is probably the scariest thing. Because you might have an idea, you might have a great product, you might have clientele behind it, but it's like, how can you now make it official? Getting a location when you need first, last deposit, some type of bond to help you as a background to help out if the business fails. So I think that's like the hardest thing. So I mean, realistically, your budget was legit, but
Yeah.
it's the market is horrible. And you said the system. I'm sorry, but the system is the way it is like you want to open a business, but you have 1,000 obstacles to go through, and you don't know until you start learning that you need 30 permits, or you need X amount of money in the bank to be able to open a business. So I think that's the hardest part about opening a business, especially like finding a location.
Correct.
So yeah.
Well, for us, we have to tell you something because we didn't come from like this industry. You know, we worked both in medical, we worked in marketing, he worked in sales and business development. So, you know, that part we had it down. Like he was just ready to go out and sell. But we didn't know what type of permits we were going to need. So like I kind of went online and I was like this. I mean,
Chat GPT.
no, I don't
It
even
wasn't
think
there.
It wasn't
Chat
there yet.
GPT was like a big thing. No, you had to be
were
like,
not
yeah.
using that. We just like
We just started using it this year.
Yeah.
It helps-
It's great.
yeah, it's great.
It's helping
No,
us a
yeah.
lot.
I
It
think
helps
it
us.
would have like helped us back then. Like so when we came, we saw the place, we were like, it looks exactly the same because like we really didn't do anything other than paint, right?
Correct. That was it in clean.
And clean.
A lot of cleaning.
Yeah, because it did need a lot of cleaning because it was like I think it was a catering before we came in. And so the what do you call it, the lady that owns the building,
You want to know?
no, just what do you, the landlord,
The landlord.
she was like, you know, there's a lot of tables in there, you guys are gonna be able to use them, there's maybe some
She basically
coolers.
tell us that she owns everything, but the guy only left the hood.
I don't know, they just left us here with the HUD, so we were like coming in hopeful that we weren't gonna have to buy too much equipment. When we got here, there was like nothing here.
So we didn't have no tables, work tables. We didn't have nothing.
Listen, at least you have the hood.
Yeah,
At least
The
we have the
hood
yes.
is the most important part because you
Yes.
could, that is, listen, that is when we had our
Yeah.
food trucks, the hood, like before we opened, we were supposed to open the first day we were gonna open, the hood stops working.
Oh no.
Oh my god. And this is the whole thing when I comes to, like I go back to like opening a business, the headaches you get.
Yeah.
It's insane. So we had to stop, we had to contact, it was just chaos. So I understand. So the hood is the most important part of it. That's legit.
So one of the other things that I want to tell you is this specific landlord. You know, Juan said, you know what? Let's go talk to them. They want to talk to you. And I said, okay, I go. And so she has so many businesses here before, but they don't last.
Oh wow.
And like she just want to know more than know my finances. Like what is that I'm gonna be doing that is gonna set me apart from any other place that
Was here.
that was here before, and it's not gonna close down. She just wants somebody that is permanent. And I told her like, look, I work in the medical fields. I used to sell intangibles, services. I think that's the most difficult thing to do because you have a. I just telling you about my service, but I don't tell it. You cannot touch it. You cannot feel it. You don't know how it looks like. You cannot text the service unless you experience the service, and you probably have only one chance. So, in order for you to grow when you do intangibles, you are actually you count with other people to making sure that that service is number one. So I told her, like, listen, we are a number one. Our product only used, our tortillas only use 3 ingredients. We can sell hard tortillas. We can sell cold tortillas. I can sell frozen tortillas. I can sell tortilla chips. I can sell to supermarkets. So I start telling her like all the, the kind of like the business plan that we have and how we're gonna make this business grow. Uh, and she said yes to us, and she had other people. As a matter of fact, when we were in the middle of the meeting, there were people still calling, because they want this place, because it was backing. So
I think it's like one of those things where like God's timing is perfect. You know, it wasn't for whatever reason we didn't get the first location that we went after, and not come to think of it, it probably wasn't the best location. Like here, we're right in the middle of Lake Worth, West Palm
Yeah.
Beach. We have easy access to I-95. We have people coming from island of Palm Beach, and so I think that I would just say like trust the process and trust God. And so you're not always going to have to deal with landlords that expect you to have 3-figure incomes. Like, don't let that scare you, because then you'll end up, dealing with a landlord like ours, which, she's pretty easygoing. And, she cared about us. She cared enough. And as long as we had first, last, and, deposit, she was willing to work with us. There was
That's
no
amazing.
there was no crazy background. I think she just did a background check, but there was nothing crazy like that.
Yeah,
We had
she
to.
is that.
We didn't. She didn't ask us for our bank accounts. She didn't ask us for anything.
That's
you
insane.
know.
Thank
So,
God.
That is
So,
that is
yeah.
amazing.
I mean, but
That's-
that's the good thing about capitalism, that you can just
Yeah,
do business however you want. That's
that
how
is
she chooses to do business, so it works out for us. And so,
And don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask. If you don't ask, you don't get.
oh yeah, he was able to negotiate like 2 or 3 free months of rent.
Oh, wow.
For us.
And
Yeah.
that helped us a lot because on those 3 months, obviously, like she said, we didn't do much here, but out of our salary, we were able to pay, for the tables, all the kitchen stuff. You're a chef.
And we did that little by little. Like, we
Yes.
bought our first cooler, and then we bought our second cooler. We were able to get make payments on some of the coolers. And so we did have to wait for the machine to come in. So during that time, like those 2 to 3 months, we were like cleaning the place,
nice.
getting ready for inspection.
And then learning how to utilize the machine too, because you have to make sure the heat is appropriate, like the temperatures and all the stuff. I don't know. Sometimes I just going home and I have to shut down the lights, and I start from the hood, from the back to the front. And when I do the back and I shut off the lights and I see all the equipment that we have, I thank God every day, because
Yeah.
I can't believe we had that much.
Because we were in an empty space. This was just like completely empty.
You guys have photos? Please tell me you
We
guys
might-
took
think-
I'm gonna
photos.
look
we
for
might
some.
have.
I'm gonna
Okay,
look for
good,
some.
good,
It was
good,
like
good. All right.
it was
That would
like
be awesome.
completely empty, and I was like, I would just stand here. Like, now it feels small, but before it was like huge. I was like, this is huge.
So we didn't even have the money to like clean the hood, So I was cleaning the hood by myself, and I was like, man, I need to save up money because this cleaning hood.
Clean the hood is
This
something
When you
else.
talk about bootstrapping, we have bootstrapped this business. Like,
It was like the most intense labor I ever done in my life, was cleaning that. Tried to clean it because I never cleaned it, so I have to, week 2-3 weeks later, I was able to hire a company to come in
Nice.
to clean it. So,
Hey, that's good. Those are the process of opening a business, and it just, I know we know each other for how many years now?
3 years.
3 years
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were the
you
first
were
person.
you were our first customer.
Yeah?
Like wholesale customer.
And who
Yeah.
also, I also want to thank you. And can I say the name of the
Yeah, of
I want
course.
Thank Hilton West Palm Beach, because that event that you invited me, I was able to work with all the hotels. I worked with Old Palm Beach and all the hotels in the island, and certain restaurants, and that builds a good reputation for us. We're very thankful to you.
Yeah. And then all
Yeah.
the chefs that share all the good things about us, some of them
That's
will come
awesome.
in. They're like, I've heard this from this other chef buddy of mine, and so I'm like, wow, like that's so cool. Like, I can't believe people are talking about us.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, I think this is the reason why I decided to open this podcast. I think is the process of opening a business is hard. I've been there. Um, we have I shut down my business due to COVID. It sucked, but I think the whole process you learn a lot, and especially like being able to help others. To me, is like priceless. I think for me, it's a little more personal. I take it very personal because since I have my business and because of COVID, and also you don't have the type of people who can help you out. Like, once you open a business, you really don't know what you're doing. Realistically, if you didn't really like, if this is not your background, you really don't know what you're doing. And even if you know, you're always gonna hit a wall in the middle.
Yeah.
So I think for me is kind of like, I want to help people out. I don't want to see business closing. So for me, it's kind of like, what can I do to get the word out? And that's, I think, the part of this podcast, to help you guys out, to help everybody out. So yeah, thank you so much.
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate you listening to our story and just getting to know, us and the people behind who make these chips, because we get to meet a lot of people, and sometimes they don't see all the stuff that we go through to try to, get to where we're at. And some people look up to us, and I'm like, oh wow, I don't feel like, we're I don't know what I'm doing. There's days where I still don't know, and we just kind of make it up along the way. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I think everybody has their own little story, and that's this platform for.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for taking. Oh, sorry.
It's just the background music.
Thanks for taking the time again.
No, thank you again. Wanted to say, don't give up. Be persistent. Obviously, there are certain times when you have to make decisions, in life. But I don't call it this gamble. I'm positive. I have to tell you that I was prepared to hear a lot of no's onto these days. But I know for a fact that those no's that I hear every day makes me stronger. I'm able to educate people, and just because they say no one at one time, that doesn't mean that that can be a yes in the future. Uh, and the reason I say this is because businesses change owners, businesses change a chef, the same thing with anything in life, or they just change their mind. And I try to educate as many people as possible about our minimalistic ingredient list that we have for our tortillas and tortilla chips line. And that's something that I now that I see in people, customers that come in and say, listen, you are everywhere for me is 27 store. I want more stores. But I want to tell you that at the beginning, if I can say something for other entrepreneurs, is don't pay yourself. Try to invest what you have to buy equipment that is going to help you lower the cost of your operations in the future. That will be it. And I want to thank you, Oscar. Really thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you have done for me, for my wife. Thank you for believing in my wife. And I get sentimental because you, as a business owner, uh, you done it before, and one of the people that I know that they are very positive is you. Um, I remember bringing the tortillas to the Hilton, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And then one day, you work with another chef, and you guys saw me that I was busy because I was running, literally running, and you guys said just keep going, and that's something that I want to say thank you for believing in us, because behind Sierra Madre Tortilla Company, there is also my wife, is my kid, is the people that work for us. Her mom works for us. We have another two employees that work for us, and they have family as well. And we are very happy that we want to have more employees at one given point. But if it's not because a yes like you take a chance on me, and that's opened a lot of doors, and I really want to thank you for that.
Yeah, of course. That's all about it. But yes, of course. We'll close it out here. Thank you so much, and
Thank
we'll go ahead and
you.
stay in touch.
Thanks so much.
Of course.